Hi guys, I'm gonna read something new today. It's not poetry, it's philosophy. The reason is I know a lot of people won't go to a library or pick out something like this because it's very heavy. So if you're not interested in philosophy, it might be something difficult for you, but it does talk about some things that are just, it's relatable to everyone. So I thought I'll just read a bit for you. First published in 1983 by Richard J. Bernstein. It was a study. It was based on some research about different philosophers and their ideas. The title is Beyond Objectivism and Relativism. The title is Beyond Objectivism and Relativism, Science, Hermeneutics, and Praxis. So he dedicated it to 4 philosophers. He says were his friends: Richard Rorty, Gadamer, Hannah Arendt, Habermas. So if you know those, yeah, apparently they were his friend. So I'll just read 2 parts that I found interesting in the overview. The book is about 200 and something pages, almost 300 pages. And the text is very small, so yeah, it's a lot. So I'm just going to read so you know what it's about. In the beginning, he has an excerpt of Meaning and the Moral Sciences by Hilary Putnam. This is in the beginning, okay? I think that Aristotle was profoundly right in holding that ethics is concerned with how to live and with human happiness, and also profoundly right in holding that this sort of knowledge, practical knowledge, is different from theoretical knowledge. A view of knowledge that acknowledges that the sphere of knowledge is wider than the sphere of science seems to me to be a cultural necessity if we are to arrive at a sane and human view of ourselves or of science. Now he starts. There is an uneasiness that has spread throughout intellectual and cultural life. It affects almost every discipline and every aspect of our lives. This uneasiness is expressed by the opposition between objectivism and relativism. But there are a variety of other contrasts that indicate the same underlying anxiety: rationality versus irrationality, objectivity versus subjectivity, realism versus anti-realism. Contemporary thinking has moved between these and other related extremes. Even the attempts that some have made to break out of this framework of thinking have all too frequently been assimilated to these standard oppositions. So now you get the idea. He does go into great length about different philosophers, Karl Popper and Feyerabend and so many others that talk about the sciences and the framework of thinking. And so he tries to relate and criticize every philosopher and their way of, explaining things related to science and social sciences. I'm not going to go into great length, but I'm just going to read another part that I found interesting in the overview. It's, okay, where is it? Okay, I know you wouldn't get it just because I'm reading in the between, but there's a part which I like. Okay, skip. We still assume that there is such a thing as the proper object of philosophy, that philosophy identifies philosophic problems that are to be solved once and for all, and that there is a systematic methodology for doing this. According to Rorty, which is Richard Rorty, if we really want to overcome the scandal caused by philosophy's lack of a systematic methodology, then what is needed is a form of philosophic therapy that will rid us of the illusion and the self-deception that philosophy is or can be the foundational discipline of culture. We need to abandon the very idea that philosophy is a form of inquiry that knows something about knowing, language or thought that nobody else knows, and frankly admit that at its best, philosophy is just another voice in the conversation of mankind. I just found that. I think that's very just general, and I just wanted you to have an idea of where he's getting at. You are what you read, so try to digest more good stuff, because nowadays, like social media and a lot of content out there, doesn't give you much framework to think like logically. So yeah, take care of your mind. Bye.